Join me, shall you?
Since it is the last day I'm able to come for 2025, I did want to do a video I've been wanting to do all year and just not have been able to get around to doing it, and that is the Disneyland Myths video. I am going to debunk common misconceptions about Disneyland and rumors and things that people believe to be true. One of the biggest myths that you see online is that this canoe in this shop in Frontierland was actually screen used in Back to the Future. This started by a couple YouTubers, Justin Scard and Adam Nuwu, as a joke.
We're back!
Hey, you know what's inside here,
What's
Justin?
inside of here?
You ever seen in Back to the Future when
I
Doc
have.
Brown, his old house, he had that canoe in
Oh,
there?
yeah, in
and
the
everyone
garage.
always asks what happened to the canoe.
What happened to the canoe?
I know where it is.
You do?
Go through these doors.
Oh my goodness. Let's do these doors. This is it!
The
So
canoe.
Universal Studios gave Disneyland the canoe from Back
They
to the
teamed up there
Future.
like this.
The actual canoe. They knew they were building Harry Potter attractions. They didn't need their canoe anymore. It wasn't going to be the #1 seller. So they gave it to Disneyland. And Disneyland took it because they were like, suckers. Everybody loves Marty McFly. And bam.
And a lot of people do not realize that has a piece of Back to the Future movie history hanging right up there.
Yeah, it totally is. It's the biggest
Originally it was at the Gamble
piece.
House
Yeah, it
in
was.
Pasadena, and now it's here.
Now it's right there. From Back to the Future.
Yep.
Doc Brown's canoe.
Little inside tip.
There's a tip.
That's my random land tip.
And it kind of got some legs. A lot of people go in there believing that that is actually that's actually true. It is false. That makes zero sense. No reason why a Back to the Future prop would be in a Disney park. So we have this little cave here, which isn't just elaborate theming. Actually, used to be used by a former attraction called Journey Through Nature's Wonderland, which was a old slow train ride attraction where you would go through like old rock formations. Never rode it, but the POVs this probably looked like it would have been right up my alley. One of the other reasons I wanted to do this type of video was I'm a huge fan of Disney lore and some of the stuff that comes out, the myths and legends that come out about Disneyland in particular, but the company itself and Walt Disney World and the parks. Well, one of them that I heard early on, and this isn't a well-known one, but this is something that kind of was said earlier on, was that the Haunted Mansion was actually made as a type of mausoleum for Walt Disney. He wanted to be buried inside of this when he eventually passed. And the story is that he went to New Orleans and saw the grand mausoleums that were built for people in the cemeteries out there, and said he wanted that for himself. And what better place to do it than his original park, Disneyland. Now, I haven't heard anybody else say this except for the one time I heard this from a cast member. So, not sure if it's a very popular one. I'm not sure if anybody else has heard this, but this was kind of a rumor circling around 2009, 2008, when I used to have a group of friends that were cast members here at the Haunted Mansion. So, yeah, that was Walt Disney might be buried here. So I'm walking through Fowler's Harbor, or whatever it's called here. Fowler's Inn. And you see a raft here. This is where you catch the rafts to go over to across to Tom Sawyer Island. Now the rumor is that Tom Sawyer Island has tunnels, secret tunnels, that lead to the outside of Disneyland where you can actually go in and out. Now early on in YouTube, Disney YouTube lore, there was a video made by a dude who pretended that he found a secret cave that led from outside of Disneyland onto Tom Sawyer's Island. And there was a big myth that there was these secret tunnels outside in a drainage ditch that could get you into Disneyland for free. Obviously, that's a myth, but that was filmed there on Tom Sawyer Island. Obviously, it's nighttime, it's closed right now, so I can't get over there, so this is the best I could do. But definitely, I could definitely debunk that one, for sure. So yeah, I do enjoy this type of stuff. If you enjoy it, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. I'm not done yet. This is just the halfway point of this video. I got way more to do. But if I miss one, do let me know. If you want to catch a cool vibe, head to Batu at night here at Disneyland. It is pretty much completely empty. Today is a very crowded day. This is Batu. Is this a failure of a land? I don't know. I quite enjoy myself here. But the mass majority of the people don't. They kind of feel like this isn't Star Wars, at least what they want to fantasize Star Wars being. I think of this more as like when I used to watch like Episode 1, Phantom Menace. This reminds me a lot of that planet, and I picture this as Star Wars for me. I love it. I enjoy it, and I love the fact that there's not a lot of people. Now that's not what Disney wants, but it's good for a fan like me who enjoys just kind of wandering around with an empty land. So according to a group chat I used to be in back in the day about Disneyland lore, this Rainbow Ridge Stage Depot was actually the entrance to the Western River Expedition. Just never got built. A lot of people know about this one. These steps that lead to nowhere were actually steps that used to lead to the Sky Bucket station that used to be right behind those trees. Now, Sky Buckets are real. It's not a rumor or anything, not a myth. The myth was that they were taken out because people used to jump off of them on purpose, which is absolutely not true. Actually, no one at Disneyland ever even fell out of them. That happened at Disney World. But still, the fact that people were purposely jumping out of the buckets was false. The reason why the Sky Buckets were taken out was because there was structure failure for the beam inside the Matterhorn, and well, it's either tear down the Matterhorn and fix it, or just stop running the Sky Buckets. And yeah, they chose the latter. So the next interesting fact that is actually confirmed, I never got to do this because I'm a little too young for it, but this was the motorboat cruise. This was an actual ride. That's the actual dock for it there, as you can see, shaped like a dock. It's now just a seating area, but that used to be a working ride station. Now, the shrubberies have grown over on this side, but there used to be canals that would go through deep that way, back that way. A lot of that's done now, it's gone, but you can still see kind of how they still let in from one side to the other. So yeah, interesting. This used to be the motorboat cruise. Now for you older peeps, you know where I'm standing, what this used to be. For you younger people, Disneyland in California, believe it or not, used to have smoking areas inside the park. And this was probably the most prominent one that I can remember. This is where my stepfather would come and smoke a stove every once in a while. So yeah, this is I know it's wild to think about it because for us 90s kids and before, that wasn't really a major thing. But I know a lot of you young kids now are like, what? You used to be able to smoke inside Disneyland? Yeah, you used to be able to smoke inside Disneyland. And this was a smoking area. It's pretty crazy. Kind of I think it's crazier for younger generations. But for us older cats, it's kind of just a basic knowledge, basic thing that we knew already. The next kind of wild fact about Disneyland, back in the early days of this lagoon, there were actual mermaids inside. Obviously, they were employees that were dressed as mermaids, but they would be out there in the rocks, and they would eventually have to get rid of that because of the fact that the chlorine would give them rashes, and a lot of the younger gentlemen would actually jump into the lagoon and try to go meet these mermaids. Speaking of Matterhorn, so the Matterhorn, maybe some of you younger people won't remember, but I remember prominently in the 90s, there was holes in the mountain. Walt Disney's quote was, "Well, it is a Swiss mountain," which is hilarious to me. But the fun fact about these is that used to be mountain climbers that would climb these things. Literally, actual mountain climbers, real people climbing the mountain at all times. Leading to the next fact that this was there used to be a full court basketball court in there, which is not true. It was just a basketball hoop, and it was so those mountain climbers have something to do during the break. Also, the basketball hoop was not put in so they could rezone this into a gym, so they didn't have to put a little blinky red light on top of the mountain. No, that was not true. That's all fiction, but there is a actual basketball hoop up there. That is confirmed. So right here, right in front of the Star Wars launch bay, this was a fun fact made famous by Justin Scard. A very old Justin Scard video. Shout out to Justin Scard. I was a big fan of his back in the day. But the old echo spot. So you stand here, you talk, and there's an echo. I'm sure the acoustics of this wall and this walkway here is what causes it, but you stand, it's literally when you stand in a circle, which makes it even a little crazier, makes it a little more mysterious. And the same thing with this one. There's one here, not as prominent, but you can still kind of hear the echo. So yeah, anytime you come to Disneyland, go right when you're about to get into the launch bay or the DVC lounge, whatever you want to call it. That little circle there, talk directly facing that way, and you hear your echo. Another kind of crazy myth here at Disneyland was that everything in Tomorrowland is edible. While there are plants that are grown to be edible, I would not suggest grabbing anything and putting it in your mouth, because that's probably not smart. But yeah, there are some plants. So I'm currently under with what used to be the People Mover / Rocket Rod Station, and there's a door there. Now the rumor is the old concrete hallways that would lead to the queue line of this ride that would go underneath the walkway over there are still there. I don't know. The tunnel that would lead you from here to that building is still in place. I highly doubt that. The next wild Disneyland rumor is that you cannot get a perfect score on Astro Blasters here at Disneyland. Which I'm here to tell you is false, because I've done it. It's just, Disney Worlders have it so easy with their easy score system over there that they get frustrated when they have to actually put in work here. They're the kind of people that like to put an easy mode in all their video games. So, yeah, that's false. You can definitely get a perfect score here at Disneyland. Another reason I wanted to do this video is because a friend of the channel, Ryan for the Love of Theme Parks, covered this already. He covered major myths, Disney myths, but this is a more specific to Disneyland, and some smaller myths that really would make sense for his video. Wanted to cover some of that, but one of the ones that he did cover was that there are actual skeletons inside Pirates of the Caribbean here at Disneyland. The Imagineers were able to acquire actual skeletons from a science lab, and apparently they were all real skeletons until they got replaced later on. But the rumor still that the skeleton on the headboard is a real skull due to its color. I don't know if that's true or not. We've had Imagineers go on podcasts and say it's real. We've had people debunk it, but who knows? This one's a toss-up. I can't neither confirm nor deny it. So I'm walking through New Orleans Square right now. This is kind of a copy of the French Quarter, which I will be at Fan Expo in the real New Orleans for Roosevelt's in a couple of weeks. So I wanted to walk through here and kind of catch the vibe. One final misconception is that Walt's apartment, which that's not the misconception, that was Walt's apartment, but it was used more as a office space. He would spend a night sometimes while Disneyland was being constructed, but it was very rare he would spend a night during actual park hours. So yeah, that's a misconception. He lived there, this was an active apartment for him. And unfortunately, that'll be it for me for this video of interesting facts and myths about Disneyland. I know I missed a lot. Kind of rushed this video a little bit. I know there's probably a lot more that I didn't get, so leave them in the comments. Any that I did not cover that you know about. But I won't be back here till after the New Year, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. If I don't see you till then, if I don't post the video, I will be going to New Orleans for Fan Expo. It's my first time doing that as a fan of the Roosevelt's brand. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.